are you all doing? I hope you are all doing well today. So, today, I am back with another story time. Yeah. So, this story sort of goes, actually, it does go hand in hand with the last story I posted. So, if you have not seen that story yet, you should actually go watch that one first and then come back to this one. And if you're not following me, you should definitely hit that subscribe button and you should like the video, and if you're feeling very generous, you should share. I thank you all for all your support, and it means the world to me. So let's get into the story. So this is hard for me to talk about, especially to the world, but we're gonna do this anyways because we are doing this to help others. And so let's go. All right, so this story, set scene, 2010, Tennessee. Right after I get out of jail, I go pick up 8 to 10 Xanaxes from my kids' grandfather on their dad's side. And I'm telling myself, after this, I'm going to get clean. I'm going to get clean. So at this point, I've already got it in my mind. I have to get clean because I already knew that DCS was probably going to be called on me. And I was correct. Now, the police officer swears we'll call him Officer Joe. Let's go by Joe. Okay, so we'll call him Officer Joe. Officer Joe claimed that he did not call DCS on me, that they were already going to come out there. So what happened was, I get out of jail, I go pick up the Xanaxes, I go home, and I get messed up, and my kids at this point are at their dad's and stuff because they had got them the day earlier, after all this went down. And then I wake up that morning and I hear a knock on my door, and I look out of the peephole and I see a lady with a clipboard. I automatically knew what it was, and I started freaking out. I mean, I was freaking out, and God, it disgusts me. It's just, I'm so ashamed of myself, y'all. Y'all don't even have a clue. That is one of the worst moments among many in my life. I didn't want to let her in. I was scared. I was hoping she would just go away. I'm like, Lord, please just let her go away. Please just let her go away. But she was not going away. So she went downstairs. I seen her get in her car, and she just sat there. So I assumed that she was calling the police. And then that's when I made one of the stupidest mistakes I could have made in this whole situation. Because I was not thinking, not only am I on drugs and I'm still feeling the highness from all the Xanax I took the night before, I'm not properly thinking. I'm freaking out. God. So I go and get the empty bottles that had the pills in it, because at the time my husband and I both were going to the doctors. We were both getting pain pills. My husband had never really been an addict. He's not an addict actually, but he's one of them people that can sociably do drugs and then not touch them. He doesn't have to have them. I was completely different. But he did legitimately have back issues, and most of the time I was stealing his medicine. So, and he did know that I was doing it too, but a lot of times I was stealing more than what he actually knew about, because that's how bad my addiction got, and I didn't want him really knowing how bad it was. I thought I was hiding it from everybody, but it had progressed so much that I wasn't really hiding it from nobody. Everybody could see right through me. So I freak out, and I get all the bottles, the paraphernalia, straws, all that, and I start throwing it in this bag. And God, this is hard to talk about because, I mean, keep in mind, y'all, that I was not in my right state of mind. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I really just don't know. I start throwing it all in a bag, and in my kids' room, there was a walk-in closet. And in that walk-in closet was dressers of mine. It was packed full of our stuff. And the kids didn't ever use it. We didn't. We just kept all of our stuff in there from when we moved in, and we didn't have really no room for it. So we just put it all in there. So the closet didn't even get used. But I don't know, why would I hide it there? I don't know. But I go to hide the bag that I put everything in inside that closet. And the police get to the house and they start banging on the door, and they tell me if I don't open it, they're going to kick it in. So I go open it. And the lady is telling me that they had actually already been to the lake house. Now, from what my understanding is, the father of my kids had called DCS on me. I also know that he did give me a pain pill, so I don't know if that was to make sure it was in my system. And I really don't know. That's just something I've been told from a very reliable source that I will not name, because I don't want them to get in trouble. But yeah, so I heard he was one of the people, and I don't know if anybody else did. I really just do not know. But she said that they had came and left a card on my door, and then they could never get in touch with me. And I don't know what happened to the card. I honestly don't know. I really don't. So I never got it. And I never even knew they were looking for me, but apparently they were. So she said my name had already been mentioned before, and then after last night, I was called in on, which was the arrest that happened the night before, and she asked me if I was going to fail a drug test, and I was honest with her, and I told her I was, and I told her what I was going to fail for. I told her I would fail for marijuana, painkiller, the hydrocodone, somas, Xanaxes. Did I say marijuana? I think I did. And marijuana. That's all I had in my system. So she gives me the drug test. And then this lady has the nerve to tell me that methamphetamines was in my urine. And I was raising Cain. I said, absolutely not. I said, I was straight up honest with you about everything. Why would I tell you everything I'm going to fail for and then lie about that? I mean, make it make sense. It doesn't. And I didn't understand. Well, she tells me to calm down because I think something about oxycodone come up in there. And then at that time I wasn't even on oxycodone or anything like that. So, because I didn't have any, honestly. If I would have had them, they would have been in my system. But I didn't. I had the hydros and stuff. So, I'm sitting there arguing with her, and I'm telling her that I absolutely not. And she tries to tell me, don't worry, taking so many different pills can cause false negatives for things, or whatever the heck she said. So, I'm thinking, okay, well, obviously she has to believe me, right? Because she's going to put this in the report, right? She didn't. Absolutely not. They had nothing on me. I had food in my refrigerator. My house was clean. I had everything my kids wanted or needed. They took pictures of the folded up laundry. I had just folded laundry and it was sitting on my couch. I just hadn't put it up yet, and they took pictures of that. The worst thing they could have said is that my couch was stained from the kids. But when I read that report, I was disgusted in it because so many lies and stuff were put in there. And I don't know if that's what they got to do to take a kid away or something, or make it look as bad as possible. I don't know. But I was absolutely disgusted with the reports both times in both of my cases, honestly. And I noticed in both of my cases, the first DCS people to get involved are always mean as hell. And then you get a second caseworker as your case goes on, and they're always the nice ones. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like a good cop, bad cop thing, but it was lies all in that report. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. It's over with now. But so she tells me that, and I'm thinking she believes me, but she never puts that in the report. And I'm sitting there telling her, I'm telling you, I would tell you, there's no point of lying at this point, you know? And the stuff that I had hid in the closet, he's basically telling me, you tell me where all the stuff is, or I'm going to go drag your, or no, he goes, no, this first happened. He goes, you tell me where all the stuff is, or I'm going to bring a canine in. So I go take him to all the stuff in the closet, and he starts screaming, oh my God, you got it in the kids' room. And at that moment, when he said that, it clicked in my head. I'm like, oh my God, you dumb ass, you dumb ass. How could you do that? And, guys, I don't know. I really do not know. I have no words for that. But, so it looked horrible. It looked real bad. I mean, it looked real bad. So I get arrested again. And honestly, I think it was for all the paraphernalia and stuff, because there's pill bottles in there, and they were only a few days old, like as far as being filled. And he basically told me that if I didn't tell him what happened to all the pills, that he was going to go rip my husband from his job and take him to jail too, because some of the bottles were in his name. And I told him I took them all. And he was like, you took them all? And I said, absolutely. Now, did I take them all? No. I didn't take them all, but I wasn't going to say that, hey, I had sold them, some of them, you know, because I had. So stupid. Anyways. God, it makes me sick. Honestly, it does. I'm like, how can you be so stupid? So I told him I took them all. So it made me look like an even worse addict than I actually was. And I was pretty bad at that point. But it made me look even worse, because it's like, dang, you took all of them in just a few days. And because there was a lot of pills supposed to be there. Because we both had just went to the doctor. And so I get locked up again, and luckily all the pill bottles were empty. I'm pretty sure. I think they only found some Xanaxes that I had bought from my kids' grandfather the night before. I think there was only a couple of them left, and I can't remember what else I got charged with. Honestly, I would have to double look. It's been so long ago, and honestly, so many drugs have messed with my mind. It breaks a lot of memories. So I have to sit here and think about things and read things and stuff before it comes back up. And that's, yeah, so drugs also take days of your life away, your memory. The Xanaxes, it's crazy, because I didn't even do them that often. I did them like once a month or something. But every time I have been arrested, I was on a downer, except for last 2 times. Yeah, 2 times. One time. The last time, because that time, the last time I was ever arrested was because I actually came to New Jersey to get my life in order financially, so I could come fight for my kids and stuff from being alienated from me. So yeah. So he takes me to jail, and I get these charges, and I get bailed out again that night. So now my husband sunk all this money in bail money, and God, now my kids, their dad has to come get them, because DCS is like, well, where's your kids? And I'm like, they're with their father. She goes, well, we need to see them now to know they're okay. So I had to call their dad there. And oh God, I'll never forget the look on my baby's faces. They come in the house, and it's Marissa and Skylar, and I'm crying, and they're like, mommy's what's wrong, basically. And I'm like, you're gonna have to go stay with daddy just for a little bit. And because that's where she said that they could go. Obviously, they're not going to go to the state. And she asked him, are you willing to take the kids? And he said yes. And it was heartbreaking, the look on my kids' face. I'll never forget it. But I had to explain to them, Mommy was sick and Mommy was going to go get some help, and they were going to stay with Daddy for a little bit. Well, they wanted me to wait until court, or until I heard from them, or until court before I made any moves. No, I wasn't doing all that. My determination was to get clean, to get my kids back. So I put myself in rehab immediately. I think it was like the very next day. My husband's cousin went to take me to Bradford, which is a drug rehab, and they took me to Alabama, where I stayed for a week or so. I went to parenting classes. I did all that, and I got them back after 4 months. So, yeah. During this time with the father, it was difficult because he would constantly break our visit, because since he had control of the kids now and temporary custody, he would cancel my visitations all the time, my phone calls all the time. It was constantly a battle with him to just see my kids while DCS was involved. So I was very relieved when they got to come home. And even at one point, it was so bad with him that I was throwing the kids a birthday party, and he was going to cancel on that. And I called the second caseworker, because by this time the second caseworker had got involved, and I was bawling and telling her that he was canceling the birthday party, and she said absolutely not. She called him and told him he would not cancel another visitation, and she made him bring the kids to the birthday party, and she sat right there with us the whole time. So I really appreciate her for that. She said that she could always tell that I loved my kids. She said that she knew that I had this fight in me because of them. She said I just had a problem and I was just sick. And she was right about that. So, yeah, that's about the first time DCS came in my life. I'm not proud of it. And it's one of the worst times of my life. And about a year after this, I had relapsed by that point, and DCS did get involved the second time, which will be another story time, and that one's going to be really difficult for me to talk about, but we're going to, because I want to put these videos out to help someone else to not make the same mistakes I made. If you are an addict and you have kids, just know your kids deserve a sober parent. And even if you're like me and you hide your addiction and you still get what your kids want and need, no matter how far gone on drugs you are, it doesn't matter. They know something's wrong. They are not stupid. And they deserve you to be clean. And you might not think it's affecting them, but it is. Whether it's people spreading rumors, whether it's the truth or twisted lies, whether it's them being made fun of because mommy or daddy's a druggie, whatever it is, it's affecting your kids in some way. And some parents are so bad off that they're doing stuff in front of their kids, and it's heartbreaking to hear things like that, because I could never imagine being that far gone. And I'm very thankful that through my addiction I didn't ever do that to my kids. And I think that's because my mom was an alcoholic, and I went through a lot, and I wanted to protect my kids from my addiction, but in the end I didn't really protect them from it, because it still affected them. It affected them when they had to go stay with their dad, and they had only known being with me since they were born, you know. And I'm sorry to them that ever happened. But now I have 8 years clean, and I'm very proud of that, and that's thanks to them and God. in my will to want to be clean. Because I never wanted to become an addict. As a matter of fact, I never seen myself becoming one. But I hope somebody can learn something from this video, take away something from this video. Even if you've been in this position before and you can just relate, I just hope my video helps you in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Until next time, I love you all.